What? Hi. Say hello first, Jess. Hi. Whilst I am sitting here, I've just finished recording a video. I wanted to make... Oh, I've got something in my eye. How charming. That's nice. That's going to be good for good footage. So that. I'm doing so well. This is kind of the point of my video, though. I wanted to talk about... I'm sorry if I'm shouting, by the way. It's just I've noticed that when I film on my tripod, the sound is a lot quieter. So when I edit, I have to fiddle with it a lot more, which is really annoying. My point today is not only the tangents that I go off on, but my, well, yeah, kind of, my rambling tendencies. And the fact that when I record a video, in total, any video I record will probably end up being over 20 minutes long. So if you think about, I think the longest one I've uploaded is 12 minutes. That's a lot of editing. And it's mainly just me going about completely unrelated things, or they are related, but they're not, they don't need to be there right then and there. So it's just the way my thought process works. It's very irritating. Some people find it funny. Like, they'll go, oh, Jess, you're so funny the way you just go off on random tangents. And I'm like, it's not funny. It's, like, really irritating. And they mean funny, ha-ha. They don't mean, Jess, you're a weirdo. They're like, oh, it's really funny because, you know, you end up never finishing a conversation. Ha-ha-ha. And I'm like, that's not funny. That's horrifying. Especially when you actually meet someone who's sort of similar, you know, and you're both just going off on, and you never finish a conversation. So when you go home, you're left going, oh, I didn't learn anything because we just kept going blah, 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 blah. But anyway, it's still fun to have people like that. I've done it again, you see. I mean, even this video will be an example of what I'm talking about because, oh, there's a horrible flashing light in a building, like across the way. I can see, obviously, out of my 17th floor flat, I can see a lot of other condos. So you see these weird lights in certain rooms sometimes, and you're just like, I don't know. Anyway, there you go again. It really irritates me that I cannot stay on track. I know a lot of people, when they make videos, they will make like notes or a checklist, and they might even pause in between each point so it doesn't appear like they're reading from a piece of paper, or they might just do a whole video in one, or they might have the notes on a computer like next to their filming equipment, you know. And I have tried this in the past. I've tried having my points written down on a notebook. I don't know why I did this, because you don't really get notebooks this big, or mine are this big. Why, Jess? Why? Shut up! Oh my god! I am horrifying. I should not be on the internet. Well, for this reason, maybe I should. I don't know. Well, I am. So there you go. Yeah. So I've tried making, you know, like a bullet point structured kind of thing I want to talk about, but it just doesn't work. I don't know why it doesn't work for me. It just doesn't, unless, like, I was because I want to do another channel as well that's completely separate to this subject. This channel is just gonna be about these subjects, and I did want to make it separate for obvious reasons, really, and not just because I'm ashamed of the stigma and stuff. I just understand that not everyone's gonna want to watch this, if you know what I mean. You're only really gonna want to watch it if you either have experienced similar problems, or know someone who has, or have an interest in the subject. You know, it's not like your average YouTube vlog channel. So I did actually want to make a separate channel that's just like about general blah blah blah, you know, not about this part, so about the other half of my life. And yes, I'm separating my life into two halves again. My god, where have I gone? Where have I gone with this? I think I was talking about notes. Oh, that was it, notes, yeah. So I was practicing making videos just for that channel, because that's the only way I can build up my confidence with filming is to actually practice, and I have just realised I never calibrated the angle of my phone today, so I'm really sorry if this entire thing is wonky. Whoops. That means I didn't do it on the last video either. Double whoops. Hey, what does it matter? It's so definitely wonky. Was that straighter? Where just sit like, no. Okay, let's not do this. My point was, I don't seem to be able to work with lists and bullet points on this channel, on this subject. I don't know why. I guess it's because it's not questions, and it's like I will start to write bullet points, and then by about the 5th bullet point, I'll start actually writing what I want to say, like in quite a lot of detail. So I'll get to like 3 lines and then 4 lines, and I'm like, now you're just writing a script. That's not going to work, because you're going to be looking at it and looking up and looking at it and looking at it, and yeah. I think this is going to kind of turn into another demonstration video of attention and the lack of it. I haven't been officially diagnosed with ADD or ADHD or anything like that, but it's kind of suspected, quite obviously. And I know it's quite common now for it not to be picked up until adulthood, which is unfortunate, because if I look back at my childhood, especially actually all my school years, but I can see it from a really young age that I had really obvious issues with my attention span, and how I would kind of go off into just daydreamy glances and just be staring at the wall, or worse, a person, and not realise I was staring at a person at, say, 6 years old, and they would think I was being really rude, and I would just I wouldn't even know. I would just be like, completely spaced out. And of course, back then, I was just called a daydreamer, I was called lazy, which still hurts to this day, really, because I was called it all through secondary school as well, you know, right up until the age of 18. You know, it was, you're stupid, you're a daydreamer, you're lazy. That's basically what I took away from school. And I'm thinking now, well, hang on a minute. If I did have any of those diagnoses, wouldn't that have made a huge difference to the way that I was taught? Or maybe I could have got, like, taught in a better way. And I know nowadays I think it's a lot more common for people to pick it up in school. Like, teachers are probably trained to look out for that kind of stuff. I don't know, but I've known people to have their children told that that's what they've had, so they get some extra help, and then they do better in school because they've got adequate teaching techniques. So instead of me being given the help that I probably needed, I was just called lazy, stupid, and a daydreamer. So not a great way to really think about yourself through your life, but that's the way it was. And yeah, that's something to talk about in therapy, isn't it? Better make a note of that. This video is just going fucking... This was what it was about, though. It was about... I get really annoyed at myself when I'm trying to film a video about a particular subject, or do like a follow-up at the end of the day about a vlog I've made, and I just can't keep on track. I can't keep on subject. I just go off. And that's just how my brain works. That's how my brain feels. I'm pretty sure I've said this before, but it feels like, I guess, like what I've talked to other people about is, I guess that your average, not that there's really such a thing, but the people I've spoken to might have, say, 2 or 3, maybe 4 kind of trains of thought going at once, you know. I feel like I have about 10 or more going all at once, all at the same time, and they never, ever, ever stop. So I find it very difficult to concentrate on one thing at a time, let alone just 2 things at a time. It's like there's always so much going on in my head, it's very hard to focus. So that's why I'm always just, because I just have ideas that pop into my head, and then I feel like, oh, I must talk about that now because otherwise I might forget. And for some reason right now it feels very important to talk about it. And then I go, that's completely irrelevant, Jess. But by then it's too late because I've said it already. I really don't know where I'm going with this. I just thought I'd do it whilst I was sitting here with my tripod set up. Tripod. This really isn't a complete video because I do have a lot more to say on the subject, but clearly the nature of the subject will let you know why I'm finding this difficult. So I'm going to leave it there for now, probably make this a part 1 and hopefully do a follow-up. If you have any questions, or if you actually suffer yourself from any of the symptoms I've described, I would really like to hear from you, and especially if you have any techniques of how to deal with it, or whether you got diagnosed early in your life, or any of that kind of stuff. I would be genuinely interested to hear from you. I would like to learn more about this subject because I feel like I think my life would be better if I could sort this out a little bit, because 10 trains of thought at once is a little bit too much, I think, for anyone to live with and kind of be a productive human being, you know? I'm finding it very difficult, so I'm sure there's people out there that just do it and maybe even thrive on it and have found a way to live with it and they thrive on it. And I would like to know how they do that. So anyway, I've done it again and I've gone off on one. So I'm just going to say thanks for watching very much. And I hope to see you again. Bye.